May 29th, 2019. This is the day that Bob Mueller broke his silence and resigned his office as the most consequential special counsel in a generation. Mueller speaking publicly for the first time today in more than 2 years after 37 indictments, guilty pleas from 5 Trump aides, a 448-page report, all against the backdrop of intense obstruction of his probe and wider attacks on the Justice Department. Now, some of that obstruction was charged by Mueller himself. Some was referred out to other prosecutors in cases that we know are still open. And tonight I can tell you some of the potential obstruction was not charged at all because, as Bob Mueller underscored in breaking his silence today, the Justice Department rules prevented him from ever indicting a sitting president. Mueller delivering that pivotal point that the legal wall barricading Mueller from ever doing anything with his evidence on President Trump other than writing it down for Congress, he delivered that today in his signature, understated manner, noting in his first remarks to the country here that he would basically not be able to give Donald Trump the good news that there was no crime. In fact, that if he wanted to, he would have given that good news if the evidence supported it. But, and this is important, and some of this may get lost, we're going to break it down for you right now. Bob Mueller, in his first ever remarks as special counsel, made it clear the evidence he gathered in that exhaustive probe did not provide the confidence that President Trump clearly did not, quote, commit a crime.
As set forth in the report after that investigation, if we had had confidence that the president clearly did not commit a crime, we would have said so.
If you remember nothing else from this historic day, and it is a historic day in American history no matter what else happens, remember this: Bob Mueller breaks his silence today and uses this singular appearance, facing the country, as the saying may go, to stay. The Mueller probe's lack of an indictment of President Trump is not a finding about Donald Trump's guilt or innocence. Now, he is trusting you, he's trusting the American public to actually slow down and think and hear this out, because it's not altogether obvious. Mueller is explaining in these first ever remarks that no evidence would ever have allowed the DOJ, not Mueller, not Barr, no one at DOJ, to indict a sitting president. Now, that's obviously a rebuttal to Team Trump and to the impression left by Attorney General Barr. Now, Mueller didn't present this, to be clear and fair, as any kind of disagreement in public with Barr today. Mueller was careful and he was courteous throughout. But we can also state the fact that the Mueller report, which Mueller urges everyone to read today, it does disagree with Barr's famous depiction in fundamental ways. It notes that neither Mueller nor Barr could ever charge the president while he is in office.
We did not, however, make a determination as to whether the president did commit a crime. The introduction to the Volume 2 of our report explains that decision. It explains that under long-standing department policy, a president cannot be charged with a federal crime while he is in office. That is unconstitutional. Charging the president with a crime was therefore not an option we could consider. That is the office's final position, and we will not comment on any other conclusions or hypotheticals about the president.
And if you remember nothing else, remember this. What I'm about to tell you is a direct consequence of the first thing I mentioned. If the DOJ cannot indict the president, what happens with the evidence of any potential presidential crime? It's not a trick question. Presidents Johnson and Nixon and Clinton, they all know, and anyone who has studied those eras or lived through them, they all faced Congresses which considered impeachment. Now, Mueller did not say the I word. I don't think anyone was bracing for that today. That's not how Bob Mueller rolls. But remember the other thing he did today, reiterating this key passage from the Mueller report, which states only Congress accuses a sitting president of criminal conduct.
The opinion says that the Constitution requires a process other than the criminal justice system to formally accuse a sitting president of wrongdoing.
Mueller's entire address today was positioned within the rules he had to follow. Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.